dum dee dum. And we are recording. Potato! So the people wondering what this is all about, it was the Vaping Misfits Part 2 of their charity live special, 12-hour live cast that they were doing from 8 o'clock in the morning yesterday to 8 o'clock in the morning today. And me, Aidan, Adam, the boys from Savs, Bunny, and just a whole load of other people were popping in and out as guests all the way through the 12-hour broadcast. And yeah, I decided to shave everything off. Well, not everything. I kept the eyebrows, so decided to shave the hair and the beard off live on cast, just to get more donations. And I think I've rewatched the back end of the 12-hour broadcast. Now I think they managed to get over the 10,000 mark. So it's over £10,000 that they've raised for charities here in the UK. And I think there's going to be a spillover broadcast as well, live cast as well, because they haven't managed to get through all of the auction items yet. So I think there's going to be a spillover or an extra live cast later on down the road that Sean and the gang are going to be presenting on the Misfits channel as well. But well done, just fucking kudos, well done to everyone at the Vaping Misfits, everyone who took part and everyone who donated. I think I got off kind of lucky, because Mark Soliome had to eat a century egg, which didn't. I'm feeling ill just thinking about it. And it wasn't just Soliome. I think a couple of other presenters had to eat a century egg as well. Then there was the disgusting milkshakes, or shakes. They're not really milkshakes. The disgusting shakes that Grizz, Adam, Matt and a few others had to eat as well. There was odd eating challenges like dried scorpion. I got off kind of okay. I just had to shave the head and beard off. I managed to keep the eyebrows after a bit of toing and froing. I was like, nope, I'm keeping the eyebrows. No, because I've got to do reviews looking like this now. I look like Mr. B's long lost brother, or William Fisk's long lost brother. Yeah, out of shape, fatter long lost brother. It'll grow back though. It'll take a while, but it'll grow back. But there was a couple of hours last night after I shaved this off, right? Because normally I do a number one, but this time it was right down to the wood. For a couple of hours last night, I was thinking, maybe I'll just stay bald and just grow the goatee back. And then I managed to slap myself out of that stupid idea. But for a while I was actually thinking of staying bald, and this is getting really bright. Hold on. But I don't know. It's not just that. My head's a really weird shape. There's this bump thing at the top going on. Well, I think it was Aidan said I look like an alien. Thanks, Aidan. It's getting really bright all of a sudden. Hold on a minute. I need to do this. It's one of those weird weather days where the sun's continuously popping in and out from behind clouds. But yeah, just well done to the folks on to the folks over at the Misfits for the charity live broadcast. That they did manage to equal the amount that they on the live broadcast side of things, they managed to equal the amount that they got last year, which I think was also £10,000. They managed to equal it this year. So well done to everybody involved, and well done to everybody who bid for auction items. I actually won an auction item as well. It was I can't remember what the fucking mod was now. It was a custom one, a custom mech 21700. What was it? Outcast? No, it wasn't Outcast. I can't remember what the mod was, because I was kind of I was kind of half asleep when I was bidding on it, which probably isn't the wisest thing to do. But I did put my hand up to bid on. It was either that or another G2, because they had a G Class 2, this basically, up for auction, and I went, you know what? No, I'm going to keep my money back. I'm going to keep my money back for that custom made mech. So I did, and I won it. But yeah, it was a fun night last night. It was definitely a fun night last night. Anyway, keep an eye out on the Misfits channel later on, and on their social media, for the extra show that they're going to be doing to basically clear the decks out of all the other auction items that they've got, because there's a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff that got auctioned off, and from what I've seen, there's a lot of stuff that still needs to be auctioned off, because a whole load of companies and individuals in the vaping scene donated items, whether it be mods, whether it be non-vape related items, whether it be liquids or kits. They donated a whole load of stuff for the charity auction. So there's going to be, I don't know when it's going to be, but there's going to be an extra live show. It won't be another 12-hour one. That's probably going to be about 4 hours or something, just to clear out the rest of the auction items and get more money in for the final charity total. But it was a fun night last night, definitely was. Anyway, there isn't really much else to cover. Thinking about it, we're at the end of July, or getting to the end of July, going into the beginning of August, and July and August are two of the quietest months when it comes to vaping related stuff, whether it be releases or whether it be just general overall news. The UK Parliament are either already started or they're going to be starting their summer break, so there's no political news to do with vaping going on in the UK, and the same is happening in Europe as well. A lot of the parliaments and a lot of the assemblies are breaking up for their summer holidays, so things are going to be very quiet, especially during August when it comes to vaping news as a whole. It's the same every year, folks. It's the same every year, and I need to fill this tank up. Next month, though, from not July, August 1st, I am doing something a little bit. In fact, no, before that, coming to think of it, what am I doing before that? Oh, second live show. There is a poll currently up on the Vaping With Vic Facebook group with a choice of several times and several days, and several times to do a live broadcast. One of the options is Saturdays at 8 o'clock, and the other option is sometime in the evening on Tuesdays. And the idea is there's going to be a second live show starting up. Nothing to do with the UK vape show. It's basically going to be just me, and there's going to be a second live show starting up on the channel that's going to be a lot like the way that the UK vape show used to be at the very beginning. At the very beginning, when I was hosting it on my own. And the idea is basically a Q&A, just a miniature Q&A. The live show will last for the same length of time that the UK vape show lasts for, about an hour and a half. There's going to be a retro build section if there's nothing new and fancy to build on the live show, and it's just something to fill out the channel a bit, because we're getting into August and September. Things are going to be really slowing down when it comes to releases. When it comes to releases and items coming out, and all I'm seeing is pod kits. In fact, the first look that you're going to be seeing today is 3 pod kits. That's all I'm seeing. There's nothing really catching my eye right now when it comes to items being released out onto the market. So second live show with a retro build section where I drag out an old tank or an old dripper from the past. If there's nothing new that's come in for review, I'm going to do a retro build section. So yeah, right now the Tuesday spot is winning on the poll. I think the Tuesday spot's winning by about 20% on the public poll, but we'll see how that poll runs out, runs through this weekend, going into the first couple of days of next week, before I make a decision. I can kind of see why a lot of people were voting for Tuesday, because Saturdays, a lot of people are out. Because, hey, the weather's good. They're out down the pub. They're out having but relatively good if it's not a heat wave. They're out down the pub. They're out having a barbecue kind of thing. So I can kind of see where a lot of people were voting for Tuesdays, because beginning of the work week, so people are going to be generally inside. So it looks as if, the way the poll's running right now, it looks as if this new live show is going to be in a Tuesday evening. It looks as if it's going to be in a Tuesday evening. Polls can change though, so I'm going to hang back and wait and see what actually happens. The second change, I have redone the review package options for Vaping with Vic, basically to make money. There we go, that's what it comes down to, basically to make money, because right now they're kind of operating not at a loss, but they're operating right now evenly. So in other words, the outgoings are not as much as the incomings, and for a lot of the time the outgoings are equal with the incomings. But working on an even basis isn't good for the long term. It's not good for the long term. So you're going to be noticing, not so much at the beginning, but you're probably going to start noticing as we go further into August, that I'm going to be making a lot more social media posts. The way that I used to juggle items that came in, right? I just wait for 3 or 4 days for all the items that came in to pile up, and then I just laid them all out in one big line, took a single snapshot and uploaded that snapshot to social media. So Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and it was all the items that came in. What I've basically put in the sheet that I send out to all the companies that basically request a review, what I've basically put in is a new social media package. Nothing to do with the reviews. It's a separate social media package. So in other words, when the item comes in, it doesn't get bundled up and put in a holding queue to have its picture taken and popped up in social media. I basically get the Canon camera out, put the 80mm macro lens on it, and then just start taking individual pictures of that item. Social media, you could call it a promo package, kind of, but it's a social media package where all of the emphasis is put on that individual item when the first look picture comes in. It'll get individually posted up to the likes of LinkedIn, the likes of Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all the rest of it. And it's an option in there where the company sending the item in for review, if they want that little bit extra push when the item comes in on social media, they can basically pay for it. Promotional. It's a promotional thing. Essentially, that's what it is. And that runs separate from the actual item being reviewed. If they want the item reviewed to be fast-tracked, they need to pay more. There. But about 95, that's not as much as that, about 90% of the items that come in that you see me review, they've just been sent in and the company doesn't want a fast track. So in other words, no money has changed hands. No money has changed hands. There's this myth that goes round that every single review that you see me do in this channel has been paid for. Nah, it hasn't. Averaging 3 reviews a month. Like, let's do some really crap maths with my fingers here. 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, call it 12 to 15 reviews a month at an average of 3 reviews a week. Sometimes it's 4 reviews a week, but at an average of 3 reviews a week. Call it 12 to 15 reviews a month. Only 2, usually at most, only 2 of those reviews were fast-tracked on the 2-week package, which is barely enough to cover the cost of the rental of the studio. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people think that every single review I'm doing is paid for. It's not. It's not. The bulk of the money is still coming in from Patreon, YouTube, and Subscribestar. But with Patreon, YouTube, and Subscribestar on the decline for obvious reasons, interest rates are going up, the cost of living crisis that's going on, I am fully expecting when October hits and the UK's energy price cap is lifted by an extra £1,000, people are going to start seeing their fuel bills increase exponentially more. I am fully expecting to lose even more people from Patreon in October. Fully expecting it to happen because people just cannot afford or cannot afford luxuries, essentially, especially when October's going to be hitting. So what I'm basically doing now is laying the groundwork down right now to offset the loss of Patreon income that's going to be happening in October, November and December. When it's Ofgem actually, the office, the Office General of Electricity or some crap like that. It's an overall ombudsman kind of thing that oversees the price targets of energy companies. They've already raised it by £700 to £1,000, and that was just before summer of this year. And everyone's gas and electricity prices shot up, and they're raising that cap again in October, and it's going to hit people hard, myself included. It's going to hit people hard, so I'm laying the groundwork now not to turn the channel into a paid review channel, because I'm not going to be doing that. But what I'm doing now is laying the groundwork down for companies, and let's face it, it's quite a lot of companies that want that extra promo push. Snazzy pictures of their mod tanker device with a nice background, chucked onto Instagram, Twitter and everywhere else. I've got a big following, but for me to do that they need to pay for it, because let's face it, that's what half the Instagrammers are doing already. That's what a lot of the Instagrammers are doing already. You see these snazzy pictures of juice bottles and hand shots and all that going on, and if the Instagrammer has a fairly good following, you can kind of be rest assured that that picture was paid for. I'm doing the same thing, just to make that extra little bit of money. Not a lot, just an extra little bit of money to offset what I'm going to be losing come October, because I'm going to start losing a lot of patrons come October. A lot of patrons come October because, yeah, gas prices are going to go up, fuel prices are going to go up, the cost of living crisis on top of that. People simply can't afford to keep giving to Patreon now. They simply can't afford it, and I basically need to balance out the books, essentially, while all this is going on. Anyway, I thought I'd let people know, in case people were wondering why all of a sudden my just in images have become a little bit more snazzy looking on Instagram. That's why. That all starts to kick in on August the 1st. It all starts to kick in on August the 1st. Got to find some way to make money, and I'm not going to do a flat out full rate charge with no option for a free review. I was thinking of going down that road, but thinking about it again, nah, I don't want to go down that road. Even though a lot of bigger reviewers went down that road a long time ago. It's not a road I want to go down. So, promotional shots, Instagrammy shots, that kind of thing, for products coming in, and hopefully it gets enough bites that it will start to increase the income for Vaping with Vic. But I can only wait and see. That's all I can do. I've already sent out emails to a lot of companies about the changing package plans for August the 1st. A few companies came back interested in the idea, and a lot of companies just didn't bother replying. So I can only wait and see what's going to happen after August the 1st with review requests that come in. I mean, there's another road I could go down, which is just start accepting disposable reviews, because apparently disposable companies are now throwing around suitcases of cash for people to review their items. They're that desperate now. They are that desperate. You're talking about some disposable companies offering upwards of £500 for a review. Some disposable companies offering $1,000 for a review. Trouble is, I don't want this channel to turn into a disposable review channel, because you know for a fucking fact that would happen. It would be disposable, and I would just end up losing subscribers, because the disposables, the handful, it's literally just a handful of disposable reviews that I've already done, which is like 5 or 6 disposable reviews over the past year. As each disposable review went up, I lost subs. The sub count dropped down by about 100 to 200, and I'm like, oh! That's one of the reasons I decided to just stop doing it, because, let's face it, the vast majority of people watching this channel are advanced or hobbyist vapers. Right now, you're probably vaping. The majority of you are probably vaping on some kind of smock, Vaporesso, Anakin, or Aspire kit. And out of that majority, a big section, but still the minority, are probably vaping on something like this. Rebuildable tank, rebuildable dripper, squonk kit, high-powered, high-capacity wattage device. About 90 to 95% of you are not interested in disposables. That's a fact. That's a fact. And any time I get an email in, and it usually follows with, we offer you $500, we will share your video out, you will get more followers, our disposable is the best ever on the planet, ever. Usually what the emails sound like. I just hit them back with hard facts. Number 1, disposable reviews in this channel get the least get the least views out of any other video uploaded that week, and in some cases that month. Some of the disposable reviews I put up, they barely managed to get to 1,000 views. Number 2, you can share out the video all you want, Mr. Disposable Company Representative, but it's not going to fucking matter, because the bulk of the people on social media that are vape savvy are just like the bulk of the people watching this channel. 90% of them are not interested in disposables. They're not going to look at the social media platform that you're using, and if they see my face or my usual like white text, red text product image, the template that I'm using now for the snapshots, they're going to go, oh look, that's a Vaping with Vic review of this disposable that I don't care about. Scroll! Too many disposables in the market. Too many of them. And they're now throwing money about, literally throwing money about, trying to get their item reviewed. I could fucking easily open up the door to disposable reviews again, make a shitload of cash in the short term and bank it. But then I'd probably end up losing about 2,000 subs and about 50% of my regular viewership, which would ultimately harm the channel going in to the end of 2022 into the beginning of 2023. And I'm kind of pinning the disposable market collapsing in on itself by the end of this year. So make a quick buck now, and the channel will suffer in 2023 when the good stuff starts coming in again. Got to play the long game. You've got to play the long game when it comes to this kind of thing. Making a quick buck now by opening up the doors to disposable reviews, even though it would ease the pressure of a possible path of me going into bankruptcy, but doing it in such a way that a flood of disposable reviews goes up and a flood of cash comes in, I'm just fucking myself over for next year. That's essentially what I'm doing. I'm fucking myself over for next year because nobody's going to watch the channel anymore because it's nothing but disposable reviews. And once the good stuff starts coming in, there's going to be nobody left to watch it. So yeah, no disposable reviews. Now, I still have one that I need to do because I was shaking the hands of the guy at the May Expo, but I'm picking a quiet week in order to actually do that disposable review. And plus, the flavours that they've got in that particular disposable, it's actually quite nice. It's one of the reasons why I actually agreed to review the thing. Anyway, I think that basically covers it for now, folks. Yeah, that basically covers it for now. So we've got first looks coming up now. 3 pod kits. At least there's no disposables, but 3 pod kits, and then we're going to wrap this up with a double up of the Patreon Subscribe Star and YTM boxaways. So on to the first looks next. Yes, not quite finished. So last night on Savage Simon's show, this happened.
Let's see. What the fuck? Oh, that. Can you say that?
Oh my God. He's written that on there.
That's not
I touch kids. Yes, I fucking do.
So here's the thing, right? You can tell that Vape Hut was not happy with the direction this was going, and it was probably Simon himself that took the image down because he knew that this could go down a bad path. I don't watch his show. I don't watch TVP show. It was a person that actually sent me a message saying, Vic, pardon me, TVP's accusing you of being a pedo. It's not the first time TVP's accused me of being a number of things. He's accused me of being a pedo. He's accused me of being a rapist. He's accused me of tax avoidance. He's accused me of tax fraud. He's accused me of all sorts of stuff. But he usually does it in such a way where he goes round it. He doesn't directly say it. So I thought when I read that, I thought, well, you know, he didn't actually come out and say it. But again, you give TVP enough rope, which is what I've been doing for the past year and a half by not mentioning his name, and this happens.
Is that one? More kids than an ice cream van, man.
Well,
On a live panel on YouTube in front of a live audience, he accused me of touching children. Basically being a child molester. Yeah, give TVP enough rope, he eventually hangs himself, and he's done it again. It's a pattern with him. And it always repeats, round and round it goes. Do you remember the email that you sent me, Mark, begging me to stop my lawyer from instigating a court case against you in 2021, where you begged me to stop because of your family? Do you remember it? Have you told your friends that you begged me to stop the legal proceedings against you? Well, here's the thing. See that USB drive that had all those clips of you over the past couple of years accusing me of being a fraudster, accusing me of being a rapist, accusing me of being a pedo, and all the other stuff that you and your friends have been doing? I'm going to be getting a copy of that USB drive from my lawyer tomorrow morning. When I get back from my lawyer tomorrow morning, I'm going to be giving Merseyside Police a phone, and I'm going to be giving them your channel link and Savage Simon 62's channel link, and then I'll be informing them of what's been going on the internet, and that you are based in Liverpool, so in other words it's under their jurisdiction. I will then inform them that all the evidence they need has been posted to them via registered mail, and I will leave it to the boys in blue of Merseyside to take this wherever they want to take it. I'll also say to them, look, I'll be more than willing to spend a month in Liverpool if it comes to a court case. That way also saves me from having to directly charge you, because I don't have the money to do that. Simple as that. Also, on top of all this, folks, anyone who actively takes part in the bashing and who thinks they can show up to the UK Vape Show as if nothing happened, anyone who actively takes part in the bashing and thinks they can then comment on my Facebook group, on my Facebook page, or on my videos, you've got another thing coming. If I see you actively taking part in the bashing over on Simon's channel or TVP's channel, you will be instantly blocked, and that includes members of my Patreon, YouTube members and Subscribe Star. Any current or future sponsors of the UK Vape Show or the Vaping With Vic channel as a whole, who then goes on to sponsor Savage Simon 62's channel or TVP's channel, will be instantly dropped as a sponsor from Vaping With Vic and the UK Vape Show without warning. That includes manufacturers, liquid manufacturers and coil builders. Basically any company that thinks they can sponsor my show and then sponsor their two shows at the same time. Nah. You either pick them or you pick me. Simple as that. I'm done dealing with this, folks. I'm done. I'm done dealing with it. I'm sitting here saying nothing while Des Turner and Kenny 2020 actively attack my mother in Herb's live shows. I'm sitting here being accused of being a pedo, being accused of fraud, being accused of tax evasion, being accused of being a rapist. And I've sat back and said nothing for a year and a half. Well, you know what, Mark? I'm done. I'm done. Anyway, now we're going to the first looks. Hello, all you wonderful people. As I get my chair in position, there we go, all you wonderful people in the hashtag Floof Army and all the wonderful people watching this later on in the WhatsApp. First looks, it's... Oh, I've just dropped one of them. That's bloody brilliant. It's all pods, folks. I did say last week that, or was it the week before, that all that's really coming out right now is basically pods. There's no major releases, and it's usually... July and August, especially August, is usually a very quiet month when it comes to releases. So, first two things up, we are looking at a couple of items from Vaporesso, and this literally just came through the door. In fact, these all came through the door via UPS and Royal Mail not too long ago. So that's why I'm taking them out the packaging first, so there's no fucking URLs. This is the Osmol. Is there a URL in this? No, there isn't. Osmol? OSMAL. No, it's not OS, it's Osmol. Osmol. Osmol, there we go. Osmol 2. So, yeah, I mean, the first Osmol was released a long bloody time ago, so this is a pretty big gap between the version 1 and version 2. It's your classic pod kit, folks. That's what we're looking at. USB-C charge port down there. You've got your sealed, no, not sealed, locked pod at the top, which means when this pod's done, chuck the whole lot away. And it's basically a classic pod. That's what we're looking at. Classic Generation 3 pod and nothing much else to look at. The Osmol 2. That goes back in the box. I wonder if Vaporesso want a fast track for this. I'll need to check my emails again, because they normally email me. Because their marketing folks are on top of things over there. They normally email me like the fucking hour the item gets delivered. Hi, you've received the package, blah, blah, blah. So the second item we've got from the folks over at Vaporesso, once I get the package open, is the return of a rather old friend. Although unfortunately it's not in big mod form, they've actually got it in AIO form. If I can ever get the fucking package open, there we go. And I've just ripped a chunk of the box off. Actually, I don't show the box in the I don't show the box in the reviews anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We are looking at the Vaporesso Lux X, which is this fella. So they've done a pod and they're now doing a bigger pod. Look at that, see through at the bottom. So where's the wrapping stuff? Is that it? There it is. Let's just give this a peel, shall we? There we go. So the Lux X, and this is again sealed and not sealed, locked pod, which is rather surprising. It's a locked pod. I thought they would have made this with the GTX coil compatible, but they haven't. That's a very odd decision. Very odd decision. Is there? Oh, there's not even an option in here. Well, at least they've got a spare pod. But I thought they would, because look at the size of it. I mean, okay, it's a pod kit. It's a pod kit, bloody big pod kit at that, with the Axon chip in it. But I thought they would. I thought they were going to make this GTX coil compatible, but they haven't. I'm scratching my head at that one, Vaporesso.
considering the size of the fucking thing, I'm scratching my head here. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's the power, there's your lights down there. You've got the Axon, miniature Axon chip in here that's running the whole kit and caboodle. There's the battery at the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's, I don't know. I mean, huge battery, damn good chip, but locked pod. That's a weird decision on Vaporesso's part. That is a very weird decision. I mean, look, 1500 milliamp hour, that's a fairly big battery in here, and it's actually quite a nice looking bit of kit as well. See, I mean, if they were gonna, I would have made this GTX coil compatible, because that's the rumours I was hearing about the Lux X, it was going to be GTX coil compatible, but nope, it's a locked pod. Aye, that's going to go down as one of this year's weirdest decisions for pod kits. Very weird. Right, that was the Lux X. On to, is there a URL in this? No, there isn't. It's another Caliburn. It's another Caliburn. It's like, you're releasing too many pods at the same time? Seriously? You've got the Coco Prime Vision Extra Plus Plus Plus. You've got the pop reels coming out, and now you've got this Caliburn coming out. You've released far too many pods in far too short a time scale. You must be cannibalising the sales. But anyway, this Caliburn is basically an overhaul of one of the older Caliburns. This is the, I think this is the A2 what? A2S? Oh, there it is. No, can't show the box, Vic. There's a URL in the back. 1x Caliburn A2S device. That's what this fella is. And they've went down the road of, pull this out, locked pod, but not sealed. You can pop your own juice in there. You've got your little window there that we've all come to recognise for the Caliburn range. And it's basically, it's a refresh of the A2 original standard Caliburn, because you had the A2, the A2 Coco, and I think there was the A2 Pro that had the coil that you can pop in and out, and this is now the A2S. I mean, you've got this, you've got the Caliburn Coco Prime Vision and the Caliburn Coco Prime separate from the Vision. You've got the pop reel PK1, you've got the pop reel P1, and all of those have been released within about a month and a half of each other. You need to slow down things a little, because, I mean, you must be cannibalising the sales from your older set of pods to make up ground with these newer Caliburn pods. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a nice looking bit of kit. It's got the classic Caliburn lines. It's got the usual large, long Caliburn coil in there, so the flavour's going to be good. But, I mean, the pop reels have just came out, and the Coco Visions just came out, and then now this is out. Oh, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing, you well. But guess what, folks? That's basically it for the first looks, and it's late in the afternoon here on Friday, so I highly doubt there's anything else coming in today. Back to the WhatsApp.
And that was the first looks. Again, I am thinking for the next 3 weeks, because I've not been hearing about any big kits well, there's one rebuildable, but I don't know if that's going to come out. Well, I know it's coming out, but I don't know when it's going to come out. I don't think it's going to be any time soon, so I'm thinking for the next 2 or 3 weeks it's going to be a lot of pods. A lot of pods, maybe a couple of AIOs chucked in there, but a lot of pods that are going to be showing up in the first looks. Anyway, we're going to be doing the draw for the boxaways. Now, over the past 5 or 6 weeks, the boxaway section has been missing from the back half of the WhatsApp. So to make up for that, I'm going to be doing double boxaways at the end of the WhatsApp for the next 5 or 6 weeks, to make up for the fact that, so the one extra is going to make up for the missing week that's been happening over the past month and a half to 2 months. So, for the people that don't know this, if you're a member of Patreon Subscribestar or the YouTube members, you get access to the Patreon Subscribestar or YouTube member feeds, which is specific to that particular platform. And it's basically basically you get automatically chucked in to the box away draws that you're going to be seeing happening right now. You also get, usually on a Monday or Tuesday, usually it's a Tuesday, but you get a preview of the reviews that are going up for that specific week. So you get to look at the reviews, in some cases 4 to 5 days before the public gets to see it. You also get to have a look at what's came in for review. If you're on the $15 tier for about $15 tier or above, the first look previews, which means if an item comes in on Monday, you basically get to see it 5 days to 6 days before everyone else sees it on the Sunday. And there's also the Floofcast, which is a private Patreon Subscribestar or YouTube member only live show that generally happens on this channel every Wednesday at 6 o'clock in the evening UK time. So there is perks and benefits that happens when you join up to Patreon Subscribestar and YouTube members. From the $1 tier on Patreon, which is simply an automatic entry into the WhatsApp draw that you're going to see now, all the way up to the upper tier of $35, because I think I've removed the $50 tier, so the upper tier is now $35, and for the $35 tier you get basically access to everything. So yeah, every dollar helps. Let's put it that way, folks. Every dollar helps, even if it's only the $1 tier that you sign up for, just to have your name chucked in to the What's Up Sunday Update draw. Yeah, every dollar helps. Anyway, to kick off the restart of this, I have got 2 very interesting packages. So, box number 1, we have got an SX Mini SL Class V2. I don't know what colour. I think they only come in one colour. Oh no! This is the copper brown one. Which is... oh fuck, it's sealed. Okay, I can't open it. I don't want to open it up either. But yeah, this is the copper brown one. There we go. Copper brown. And chucked in with that, we have got the Albrecht Mouth to Lung RTA in silver. So this is the first box up for grabs. We're going to do the draw for that right now. So I've got everyone's name from Patreon Subscribestar and the YouTube members list all listed here. Everyone's name's listed there. And let's just do the draw. Let's just randomise. Christopher, oh Mike, you were close, but not close enough. Christopher Buttle, I don't think you're on Patreon, so you must be on YouTube members. Christopher, if you're on Patreon, Christopher, or Subscribestar, you don't need to do anything. I will be contacting you. However, Christopher, if you're on YouTube members, right, YouTube members, you need to contact me using the email address that you signed up for your YouTube account, because YouTube's messaging and email thingamy bob, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And the way that YouTube right now are displaying YouTube members' email addresses, it's like the first 2 letters with asterisk, 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 and then the back half. So you need to email me with the email address that you signed up for to YouTube members, and if it does the partial match on YouTube, then I know it's you. But Christopher, if you're on Patreon or Subscribestar, don't do a thing. I'll be contacting you sometime during the coming week. So let's go backwards. Let's just grab all of that, cut it, right click and reload, paste everything back in. Now we're doing box number 2, which is another SX Mini L Class V2. This one is Gunmetal Tang. I don't know what the hell the Tang part means. Have I already opened this? Nah, it's still... is it still sealed? Yeah, it's still sealed, so I don't want to open it. But it's another SX Mini SL Class V2. And another Vapefly product, but it's not the Albrecht. This time it's the Brunhild 103 RTA in silver. So this is Box number 2 for the folks over in the Floof Army. Same thing again, random draw of everyone in the Floof Army. Hit randomise. Henrik Fallon, or Fallen, because there's a little thing above the E. Is it Fallen or Fallon? We'll go for Henrik Fallen. Okay, Henrik, if you're on YouTube members, you need to contact me, Victor at vapingwithvic.co.uk, right? YouTube members, you need to contact me, Henrik. If however you're on Patreon or Subscribestar, don't do a thing, Henrik. I'll be contacting you sometime in the next coming week or so for your contact details. And there we go, folks. That was the first of the double draws, and it's going to be the same double draws for the next 4 or 5 weeks to make up for the 4 or 5 weeks that the WhatsApp has been either missing completely or missing the box away at the back end. More details or links on how to join either YouTube members, Patreon or Subscribestar is down there in the description, and trust me, every dollar literally does help. It helps pay for the studio rental. It helps pay. It basically helps pay for day-to-day bills and stuff, because we've all got to survive some way, folks. Anyway, that is it from me, folks. I think that's it. Yeah, it is. That's it from me, folks. As always, thanks for watching and have a good one.